What's going on YouTube? This is Austin here from Austin and Dakota coming at you again with another video for you guys tonight. And tonight, a couple years back or a year ago, I did my entire updated old school rap CD collection. So tonight, just like last year, I am going to show and do my updated old school rap CD collection. I have a lot of old school rap to get through, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this intro short, and we're going to get right into the CDs. So here we go. First up, the first CD I'm going to show is Tupac with his debut album titled Tupacalypse Now, released in 1991. Love this album. I think this is one of his more underrated albums, if you ask me. Not a lot of people really say that this is his best album. People either say Me Against the World or All Eyes on Me, and I'll talk about each one as we get there. Singles off this album are Soldier Story, Trapped, If My Homie Calls, and Brenda's Got a Baby. So yeah, love this album. If it wasn't for Shock G and Digital Underground, there would be no Tupac. So I would definitely recommend this album. Tupacalypse Now, released in 1991. All right, sticking with Tupac, the Best of Tupac Part 2, Life. I have Part 1, but this is Part 2. I have both Part 1 and Part 2. Compilation album. I don't really gotta talk about much when it comes to compilations. All right, moving right along. Cypress Hill, second album, Black Sunday, released in 1993. By far, one of my favorite albums by Cypress Hill. I still say the first three Cypress Hill albums are the best ones, in my opinion. Yeah, this is a good one. Singles off this album are I Ain't Going Out Like That, When the Goes Down or When the Ship Goes Down, Insane in the Brain, and Lick a Shot. Those are the three singles off this album. Freaking love the album, man. This, in my opinion, this is more dark and gritty than the first album. So definitely would recommend this one. Cypress Hill, Black Sunday, released in 1993. All right, we're going to stick with 1993. One of my favorite albums right here. Wu-Tang Clan, Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers. This was released in 1993, obviously. 93. Love this album. This is one of my favorite rap albums of all time. Classic. I ain't got to say much about it. I mean, everyone does their thing on here, and you got Wu-Tang right there. RZA, GZA, Raekwon, and all that. Love this album. I mean, Bring the Ruckus, Clan in the Front, Wu-Tang Clan ain't none to F with, The Mystery of Chess Boxing. Love this album. Wu-Tang Clan, Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers, 93. One of my favorite albums of all time. All right, going on now. Cypress Hill, debut self-titled album, 1991. This is a really good one. My opinion, if you're looking into getting into Cypress Hill, I'd start with this album first. Don't listen to Black Sunday unless you're ready for Black Sunday. Yeah, this is a good one. Really enjoyed this one. Singles off this album, I believe, are Stoned is the Way of the Walk, Psycho Better Buck Down, and How I Could Just Kill a Man. I think those were the singles off the album. I know How I Could Just Kill a Man is like one of the big singles. But yeah, definitely recommend the self-titled album by Cypress Hill. 1991. All right, this is some nice R&B. Montel Jordan, get it on tonight. 2000, but I'm not talking about R&B. We're talking about rap. Nas, his debut album, Illmatic, released in 1994. I got nothing to say about this album that already has been said. Stone cold classic in the genre of old school rap. 94, like I said, this album. Yeah, I ain't got much to say about Illmatic that already hasn't been said. Yeah, love this album. I ain't got much to say about it. All right, moving right along. Dr. Dre, The Chronic. This came out in 1992. Classic, man, classic. Like I said, another album that I don't have much to say about. Um, and some of these albums are classics. I really don't have a lot to say about them. I mean, Nothing But a G Thing, F with Dre Day, Let Me Ride, The Day the Brothers Took Over, Little Ghetto Boy, Rat-a-Tat-Tat, The $20 Sack Pyramid, Straight On Death Row with Bushwick Bill of Ghetto Boys. Great album, man. Great album. All right. This next one I've been trying to find for a long, long time. And I am so happy that I was able to find this album. And that album would be Method Man and Redman with their debut album, Blackout, released in 1999. Yeah, Method Man and Redman. Everyone should know who both of them are. This is their first collaborative album. But I mean, yeah, really good. My favorite track off here is The Rock Wilder, which is obviously the best track on the album. But yeah, singles off this album are Tear It Off, The Rock Wilder, and YOU. Those were the three singles off the album. But yeah, absolutely love this album. Definitely check it out. Moving right along. Ice Cube, his second album, Death Certificate, released in 1991. By far, Ice Cube's best album. Bar none. Love this album. Really freaking good. This was his second album without NWA, and obviously his most popular one. I mean, The Funeral to start off, My Summer Vacation, Steady Mobbin', Giving Up the Nappy Dugout, A Bird in the Hand, Black Korea, and obviously No Vaseline. You can't go wrong with No Vaseline. Classic album. All right, moving right along. MF Doom, Operation Doomsday. This was released in 1999. Legend is MF Doom. I love Doomsday on this album. Doomsday is awesome. Rest in peace to MF Doom. All right, this next album, like I said about Method Man and Redman's Blackout, I've been trying to find for a long time. It took me a while to find it, but I was able to find it. And that album would be Ice-T, his fourth album, OG Original Gangster. This came out in 1991. So far, 91 was a big year for hip hop, and every reason for it. Great album. This is probably my favorite Ice-T album. Most of these CDs that I have, I got because of Immobilarity 1. It's because of him that he makes me want to go out and look for these CDs, and I'm so happy that I do. But yeah, OG Original Gangster, 1991. Yeah, love this album. Love it, love it, love it. I actually listened to it last night for the first time. Yeah, great freaking album, man. Love this album. Love it. I mean, Ziploc. I mean, the singles off the album, first off, is OG Original Gangster, which there's a video for, and New Jack Hustler. Um, Favorite tracks off this album, I'd say New Jack Hustler, OG Original Gangster, Lifestyles of the Rich and Infamous, Prepared to Die, You Should Have Killed Me Last Year. Yeah, I love this album. If you can find it, pick it up. Ice-T, OG Original Gangster, released in 1991. I think that's out of print. I'm not entirely sure. Okay. I'm dragging the box forward so that way I don't get a reach. Okay, we have a lot of old school rap to get through. And I mean a lot to get through. So please bear with me. All right, next album, same thing as the last two. I've been trying to find this album for quite a while, and I was actually happy when I found it, and that album would be Eric B. and Rakim with their debut album titled Paid in Full, released in 1987. This album is a must-own for any fans of the hip-hop genre. Stone cold classic in the genre of rap. Hip-hop classic right here, man. Yeah, I absolutely love Paid in Full. I have another Eric B. and Rakim album that you'll see here shortly. But yeah, love this album. I mean, the singles off this album are Eric B. as President, Move the Crowd, I Ain't No Joke, My Melody, Paid in Full, and I Know You Got Soul. Those are like the best. Those are like some of the best tracks on this album. The whole album you can listen to without skipping a track. That's how freaking dope this album is. So yeah, I definitely would recommend this one. Eric B. and Rakim, Paid in Full, released in 1987. Go pick it up if you can find it. All right, moving right along. Big Pun, Capital Punishment, released in 1999, I think. Definitely recommend this one. I'm gonna try to keep my comments at a minimal because I have a lot of them to show. But yeah, I love this album. I mean, yeah, love it. Some good tracks on here too. Like I said, I'm gonna try to keep my comments short because, like I said, I have a lot of old school rap CDs to get through. All right, moving right along. Tupac, Strictly for My Brothers. This came out in 1993. This came out a year after Tupacalypse Now. Pac was still on Digital Underground Records, but in my opinion, one of his best albums. More of an underrated album, if you ask me. I mean, Holla If You Hear Me, I Get Around, one of my favorite Pac songs of all time. Definitely would recommend that one. Yeah. Some Tribe Called Quest now. Third album, Midnight Marauders. This came out in 1993. Again, 93 for hip hop. 1993. My opinion, the 90s was like a really strong year for hip hop. Yeah, great album. Tribe Called Quest, second album, The Low End Theory, released in 1991. This is my favorite album by a Tribe Called Quest. Yeah, I love this one. I mean, Exsurgence, Bugging Out, Verses from the Abstract, Show Business, the infamous uh, Date Rape, I think. Check the Rhyme, We've Got the Jazz, Scenario. Yeah, I love this album. Great album, man. Great album. They really upped their production game on that album. All right, Tribe Called Quest, their last album, The Love Movement from 1998. I will eventually get We Got It From Here, Thank You for Your Service. Well, that's more along the lines of new rap, and just see the bottoms broke. But there's the album itself. That's pushing along the lines of new rap, so I don't know if I will get that one or not. Y'all should let me know if I should get that or not. Bug Life, Volume 1, released in 1994. Must own. Must own. This is Pac's old group. And their only album, unfortunately. I kind of want to see Thug Life do more. I mean, Bury Me a G, Don't Get It Twisted. But the singles off the album are Pour Out a Little Liquor and Cradle to the Grave, I think. Yeah, but yeah, love this album. Recommend it. Tribe Called Quest, People's Instinctive Travels in the Paths of Rhythm. This came out in 1990, so yeah, their debut. Love this album. This is a really good one. If you're looking for like a really good, funky, kind of upbeat, pretty much something up your alley, I would say. Then definitely check this one out. I Left My Wallet in El Segundo, Bonita Applebum, Can I Kick It? Oh my God, Can I Kick It? I love this album, really good. I'm a big Tribe Called Quest fan, if you couldn't already tell. Big fan of Tribe Called Quest. I'm a big fan of old rap in general. Big L, Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous, released in 1995. His only album that he put out, his second album, believe it or not, was um his I can't think of the word, but you guys know what I mean. Oh, disc fell out. Yeah, the disc fell out. It's not really a secure fit in there, but yeah, there's a disc. Singles off this album are Put It On, No Ends, No Skins, and MVP. I love this album. Definitely check it out. One of my favorite albums of all time. This is really hard to find. Tupac's Greatest Hits. This is a really hard Greatest Hits album to find. Very freaking hard. This is a really hard Greatest Hits to find. This came out in 1998. Put out through Death Row. I mean, this has got God Bless the Dead on it and the infamous Hit 'Em Up. And when I mean infamous, I'll dive into the story when I talk about another album. But yeah, this is a good compilation album. One I would definitely check out. But it's got mainly some stuff from the second album, his fourth album, and some of his later stuff. But yeah, definitely would recommend this one. All right, halfway through. Too Short, Get In Where You Fit In. This came out in 1993. Again, 93, big year for hip hop, I would assume. But yeah, the 90s was just a big year in hip hop in general. Yeah, this is my favorite Too Short album. Although I kind of want to get more Too Short albums. But I mean, I'm a player, got to get some lovin', Money in the Ghetto, The Dangerous Crew, love The Dangerous Crew. It's him, Spice One, Ant Banks, Hassani, and Pee Wee. Love that. That's my favorite track. But yeah, definitely would recommend this one. Ooh. West Side Connection, Bow Down, released in 1996. Love this album. Love it. Yeah, Ice Cube, Mac 10, WC. I haven't really listened to this album in a long time. But I remember when I first got it, I listened to it and it just absolutely blew my mind. I mean, all three of them together, they can freaking rap. I mean, the singles off the album are Bow Down and Gangsters Make the World Go Round. I don't care for Gangsters Make the World Go Round. Um, Favorite tracks off this album, I'd say Bow Down, The Gangster, The Killer, and The Dope Dealer, King of the Hill, Three Time Felons, Who Bangin', but Cross the Mountain, Put a K, man. That's my favorite track off this album. Love West Side Connection. I need to get Terrorist Threats that came out in 2003. That was the last album they did together too before they broke up. Apparently there was some beef with the band or the group. Tribe Called Quest, their fourth album, Beats, Rhymes, and Life from 1996. Yeah, pretty cool. I do see a little bit of CDs that don't need to be in here. I'll go and remove those out of the way. Blue Sky Black Death presents The Holocaust. This came out in 2006, I think. Yep, 2006. So early 2000s. This is kind of pushing it a little bit, but this is a freaking great album. If you can somehow track down this album like I did, pick it up. I mean, oh my god. If you really want like that album, if you really like want a cinematic feel to your rap music, this is the album that'll do it for you. I mean, We Are All Well Known, What Can the Matter Be? No Image. No Image is like my favorite track off this album. Oh my god. Wing to Wing Feather, Smoking Room. Love this album. Definitely check it out. Bow Wow, Wanted. This was released in 2005. This album is not that good in my opinion. I'm sorry to say that about Bow Wow. Um, but yeah, I don't really like this one. I mean, you got some decent tracks on this album. But the one I like the most is Do What It Do. That's pretty much it. I need to get Little Bow Wow Beware of the Dog. All right, some Tupac now. Tupac, The Best of Tupac Part 1, Thug. This is the one I would recommend the most. out of all the Tupac Greatest Hits albums, the Greatest Hits and Part 1 is what I recommend the most. And plus the Greatest Hits, you can find the original California Love and on this album as well. Don't listen to the remix, which is going to be on this album I'm going to talk about. All Eyes on Me, his last one, released in 1996. This one is good, but in my opinion, it's just a little overhyped. If you ask me, and plus the insert is broke. We have had a bit of a glitch there. Yeah, you see the insert's broke, so I'm gonna try to grip it and then flip it over. But yeah, good album though, just not one of his best. Or it's one of his best, but yet not my favorite Tupac album. But it's still a good album though. My favorite Tupac album would go to this one right here, Me Against the World, 95. Now, Pac was going through a very dark time during this when this album was being recorded. He was being sent to jail because of a charge he was staring down. So yeah, this is my favorite Tupac album. Singles off this album are Dear Mama, So Many Tears, easily my favorite track, and Temptations. But yes, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. But this is my favorite Tupac album. So definitely check them out. Tupac, Me Against the World. Rest in peace to Tupac. Okay, Grand Hustle presents Into Streets Volume 4. So this is like a little compilation mixtape, if you really want to call it that, of a bunch of different rappers. I believe this came out in, I don't have a year on this, 2007, I think? 2006. You got some good people on here. Very good people. I mean, the remix Top Back, Young Dro with Grand Hustle Mafia, Alpha Mego with the One. But my favorite track off this album, I would probably give it to. I give it to Cow with Grand Hustle Beatmaker. Yeah, I love that album. I love the track and I like the album. All right, got some more old school rap here. Sorry, just trying to grab an album here and move. I'm gonna move these out of the way. All right, a little bit of a technical difficulty, guys, but just please bear with me. I have a lot of old school rap albums to go through. Here we go. DMX, It's Dark and Hell is Hot. This was released in 1998. This is my favorite DMX album. People say this either the second album, which I do own, or his third album, which I have as well. But I think his first one is his best one, in my opinion. I mean, Rough Riders Anthem, Messin' with D, Get At Me Dog, X is Coming, Stop Being Greedy, For My Dogs. Yeah, love this album. Really dark, too. He was pushing horrorcore when he was making that album. All right, moving right along. Sticking with DMX. Flesh. Oh, sorry. That's and then there was X. I was going to stick with the order of release. Sorry. DMX. Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. This also came out in 1998. So two big albums for DMX when he first broke out onto the scene. I mean, Bring Your Whole Crew is my favorite track. Keep Your the Hardest. Slippin'. I think, yeah, Slippin' and No Love for Me are like the singles off the album. But yeah, definitely would recommend this one. We lost DMX, unfortunately. And then we get to And Then There Was X. There we go. 1999. Another good album by DMX. Anything after the Great Depression, I kind of tail off a little bit. But yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, don't want to say closed all the way, but it's all good. I love And Then There Was X. Um, easily One More Road to Cross is my favorite track. Party Up was like the biggest song off this album. Let me just tell you. I got country intertwined in here, but you guys don't want to see that. You want to see the old rap. Sorry about that. Capone Noriega, The War Report. This came out in 1997. This is their best album. I don't care what anyone says. This is easily their best album. If you really want to debate about it, go ahead and debate about it in the comments. But this is my favorite CNN album. I mean, Bloody Money, Driver's Seat, TONY, LA when they took shots at the dog pound. I still say that my favorite track off this album. Oh, Illegal Life was a single as well, but my favorite track off this album, I would say, is Halfway Thugs. Yeah, love this album. Definitely would recommend it. All right, moving right along. Cypress Hill, their third album, Temples of Boom. I believe 95. Yeah, 95. This is my favorite Cypress Hill album, and in my opinion, their best album. Definitely would recommend this one. Love, love, love this album. I mean, Throw Your Set in the Air, Stone Raiders, Killa Brothers, Boom Biddy Bye Bye is like my favorite track. The Fugees remix. The Fugees remix to Boom Biddy Bye Bye, man. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Moving more albums out of the way. Whole bunch of old rap here. The Best of DMX. This was released in 2010. Mainly got this for X Gonna Give It to You. I ain't got so much to say about this that already hasn't been said. Right, moving right along. Easy E. Easy Does It. I believe this came out in 91. Either 91 or 92. I can't remember. Or this came out around the same time Straight Outta Compton was released. And I'll talk about Straight Outta Compton when I get there. But yeah, first album without NWA. He didn't start taking shots at Dr. Dre until It's On, Dr. Dre 187. That's the infamous EP that he put out in 1993. Eminem, the Marshall Mathers LP. This came out in 2000. Classic album. Definitely would recommend this one. And unpopular opinion, this is my favorite Eminem album. I'm trying to get more from Eminem because this is the only one I own. I know the Infinite album came out. No, it didn't come out. It's really hard to find. But I really want to get the Slim Shady LP. All right, moving right along. I got another Eric B. and Rakim album, like I said earlier. Eric B. and Rakim, Let the Rhythm Hit Him. This came out in 1990. This is my favorite Eric B. and Rakim album. And in my opinion, this is their best album. If you want a good Eric B. and Rakim album to start with Paid in Full. Because that was the first one they did. Yes. In the Ghetto, Mahogany. Mahogany is the best track on this album. And Let the Rhythm Hit Him, self-titled track. Definitely would recommend this one. Come on. Ghostface Killah. Iron Man. This came out in 1995. Is 95? 96, sorry. One of my favorite Wu solo albums. Love this one. Love Ghostface Killah. But he's not the best member of Wu-Tang. We'll discuss that a little bit later. Okay. Genius and Jizza. Liquid Swords. This came out in 1995. One of my favorite solo Wu albums. I mean, Shadowboxing with Method Man. Living in the World Today. Cold Word of Killer Hills 10304. Investigative Reports. Duel of the Iron Mike. I Got Your Back. Yeah, love this album. Great freaking album. Great solo Wu album. All right, moving right along. Fuji Rap 456. This came out in 95. First album without DJ Polo, and in my opinion, his best album without DJ Polo. But if I had to pick my favorite one that he did with DJ Polo, I'd say probably Live and Let Die. But I mean, Fast Life with Nas, it's a shame. Take Him to War. In fact, Take Him to War was supposed to come out, but somebody got shot in that video and they couldn't release the video for it. It would have been cool if we gotten at least like a little snippet of what the video could have looked like. LL Cool J, Bigger and Deffer, released in 1987. This is my favorite LL Cool J album. This was way before or during when he was in a diss battle with Kumo D, another good rapper. I mean, I'm Bad, Go Cut Creator Go, I Need Love. Great album, man. Great freaking album. MC Ren, Ruthless for Life. This came out in 1998. Underappreciated rapper. He needs to get his flowers. This is probably my favorite MC Ren album, but if I had to pick another one, I'd say Shock of the Hour. It's just really hard because everything on this album is really good. I mean, Ruthless for Life, Coming After You, Voyage to Compton, Pimpin' is Free. Yeah, great album, man. Great freaking album. Mobb Deep, The Infamous. This came out in 1995. Great album here. This is my favorite Mobb Deep album. People say either Hell on Earth or the next one I talk about. Yeah, this is where it is, man. This has some good tracks on it. Survival of the Fittest, Eye for an Eye, Your Beef is Mine, or Your Beef is Mine's with Nas and Raekwon. Give Up the Goods, Cradle to the Grave, Shook Ones Part 2, Up North Trip. Yeah, great album. It wasn't until another Mobb Deep album where they dissed Tupac. This was when Pac and Mobb Deep were cool until Pac took shots at Mobb Deep on the song Against All Odds on the Machiavelli album. Literally, Pac and Mobb Deep were cool until the war started and Pac took shots at Mobb Deep on the song Against All Odds off Machiavelli the Don Cluminati. Mobb Deep, their fourth album, Murder Music. This came out in 1999. Quiet Storm, easily my favorite track. Believe it or not, this was supposed to be a double disc album, but because of heavy bootlegging, they had to completely redo it, which was kind of sad. It would have been cool if we got a double disc Mobb Deep album. Maybe with the Essential Mobb Deep we can get that. Rest in peace to Prodigy, man. Prodigy. He could spit. J.R. Writer, Writer's Block 5. This is his fifth mixtape. This came out in 2007. I don't know much about him, but all I know is he could spit. This dude's got some flames, man. Again, 2007, kind of pushing it for old rap, but you know what? This was when rap was in its prime. I mean, Major got it covered with Fred Money. They Don't Really Want It, Dear Hip Hop, Beast Mode, Runner. I think, yeah, Runner is my favorite track off this album. Holy crap, that dude's got some bars. He could spit, man. Yeah, freaking love J.R. Writer. Need to get his other Writer's Block mixtapes that he did. But Writer's Block 5 is probably my favorite one. Sorry, I'm having a really hard time trying to get that back in there. There we go. Got like a whole bunch of other CDs that aren't old school rap. Da Brat, her third album, Unrestricted. This came out in 2000. This is a really good one. Probably my favorite album by Da Brat. I'd say her first one is better, in my opinion. Nope. And Functified, man. Functified. What You Like, At the Club, Hands in the Air with Mystical, What's on Your Mind, I Come Down. But I think my favorite one is with Ja Rule, and that's Back Up. Yeah, great album by Da Brat. Yeah. If you don't know who Da Brat is, she is affiliated with Criss Cross. Her first appearance on Wax was on Da Brat's second album, The Bomb. I don't know what track though. I believe on DJ Nab's Break, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't have the actual jewel case to the CD no more, and that really tips me off. But This Is It was written by Nas, his second album, released in 1996. People put this on a pedestal with Illmatic and saying which one is better. My personal opinion, I think it or not it was written. Illmatic is the better album. I mean this is still good though. I like this one. I mean, Nas is Coming, The Message, Street Dreams, If I Ruled the World, Take It in Blood. I mean, the setup, shootouts. Oh, Nas is Coming, my favorite track off this album. Love this album. All right, the next few albums are by Nas. So here we go. Continuing with Nas. I Am, third album. This came out in 1999. This is a really good Nas album. My second one, my second favorite. My second favorite Nas album. Yeah, Nostradamus, the album, October 20th, 1999. That has since passed. I don't know how old that album is now, but Hate Me Now, Favor for a Favor, You Won't See Me Tonight with Aaliyah, Life is What You Make It with DMX. That's my favorite track off this album. But yeah, love this album. It's either Life is What You Make It or Favor for a Favor by with a Scarface. All right. Stillmatic. This came out in 2001. This is a comeback album for Nas. In my opinion, a solid comeback at that. I mean, got yourself Ether when he was dissing Jay-Z. You're the Man. One Mic. One Mic was my introduction to Nas. But yeah, I definitely would recommend this one. All right, the last of my little Nas section is God's Son. This came out in 2002. Unpopular opinion, this is, in my opinion, this is Nas's last good album. I can't remember the last time he actually put out a good album. Although King's Disease I keep hearing is like really good. I might have to check it out. Favorite track off this album, I'd say, is Revolutionary Warfare with Lake. Love this album. Excuse me. NWA, Straight Outta Compton. This came out in 1988. Hip hop classic. That's all I'm gonna say. Hip hop classic. I mean, this is their best album, bar none. I mean, straight out of Compton, Gangsta Gangsta, Parental Discretion is advised. Compton's in the House, I Ain't the One. Yeah, really good album. One I would definitely recommend. NWA, sticking with NWA, Brothers for Life. This came out in 1991. This is the last album that NWA did together before they split up and they went their own separate ways. And then Tim Dog actually dissed Dr. Dre and Eazy-E on his song Def Compton off his Penicillin on Wax album that came out in 1991, which I need to get my hands on. But yeah, really good album. I mean, Appetite for Destruction, Always Into Something, Real Brothers where they diss Ice Cube. But then obviously Ice Cube fired back. And greatest diss track out there is No Vaseline. I don't want to any debate about it in the comments. ODB, Return to the 36 Chambers. This came out in 1995. Love this album, man. Love it. Great album here, man. The beats on here are just good production on this album, too. I mean, Shimmy Shimmy Ya, Brooklyn Zoo, Rawhide, Going Down, Snakes, Brooklyn Zoo 2, The Tiger Crane, Protect Your Neck to the Zoo. God, man. And you have Ollie Grant, Mitchell Diggs, Dennis Coles, and Dante Ross doing or executive producing this album. Dude, This is a classic. Love Return to the 36 Chambers. I wish his second album was the same way, but it wasn't. This is his best album, bar none. And it's kind of a shame we lost ODB, unfortunately, so rest in peace to him. But yeah, love this album. All right, 2 Outkast albums. We are almost done, guys. We are almost done. Thank you for sticking with me. Outkast, ATLiens. This came out in 1996. I can never, for the life of me, pronounce that name right, or the name of the album right. I can never get it. I can never pronounce the name of that album right. Aquemini. This came out in 1998. The reason it's called Aquemini is because you have one member that's Aquarius and the other one's a Gemini. Love this one. Favorite track off this album, I would definitely say is, where is it? Rosa Parks. Yeah, definitely. Definitely Rosa Parks. Great album, great album. Raekwon, Only Built for Cuban Links. This came out in 1996, I think. Yeah, I ain't got a year on this. If you don't own this album, what are you doing with yourself? Go pause this video, come back when you have this album, and let me know how it is. It's great. Love it. Love this freaking album. This is my favorite Wu solo album, or my favorite album by a solo Wu-Tang member. I mean, Criminology, Incarcerated Scarfaces, Ice Cream, Glaciers of Ice, Rainy Days. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Street Pasture, Martyr Mind State. This came out in 2006. Really good album. If you've never heard this guy rap before, wow, definitely check this album out if you haven't. Oh my god, it's so good. Pump Your Brakes is easily my favorite track. All right, couple more CDs to show, and that'll be it for the collection. The Power League Net Corporation presents the Big Ten Project. This came out in 2000. I don't know much about this album, although it's kind of like a compilation per se. I don't know much about it, but it's pretty cool. Nice little collectible to have. The Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die. This came out in 1994. Classic. Don't got much to say about this album. The singles off this album are Juicy, Big Papa, Warning, One More Chance, and Unbelievable. So disc 1 is, oh, yep, there you go. Disc 1 is the CD itself. Disc 2 has all the bonus features on it. But yeah, good album, man. Freaking classic. Another album that's one of my most sought after. I mean, Give Me the Loot, Machine Gun Funk, Who Shot Ya? Now, story about Who Shot Ya while I pull out the next CD. It's a funny story about Who Shot Ya. Not really a funny story. This is more of a serious story. But story about Who Shot Ya. Biggie wrote that album. Biggie wrote that track for this album. And when Pac heard it in jail, he kind of took that as a diss because he thought Biggie had something to do with with Pac's attempted murder. But at the same time, though, he didn't. He took offense to it, and that's what started the whole West Coast East Coast diss battle, pretty much. Um, that's what caused it. Greatest Hits, 2007. My very first Biggie CD that I bought. Mainly got it for Running Your Mouth with Snoop Dogg, I think. Yeah, Snoop Dogg, Nate Dogg, Fabulous, and Busta Rhymes. Very long. KRS-One, self-titled album, his third album, released in 1995. My favorite KRS-One album. He's pushing it as becoming my favorite rapper of all time, but Pac remains number one, man. I mean, MCs act like they don't know. Wanna be MCs, Health, Wealth, Self, Wanna be MCs. But yeah, but the singles off the album are Rappers Are in Danger, MCs Act Like They Don't Know, and Ah Yeah. But yeah, good album by KRS-One. That's easily my favorite one that he did. Alright, last two. MC8 featuring CMW. We Come Strapped. Don't mind the case being cracked in here. That's how it came. 94, this one. This would be MC8's first solo album, but I can't remember what one under CMW. But yeah, really good. All for the Money. Nothing But the Gangsta with Spice One and Redman. But yeah, really good. Love MC8. Very underrated MC. Alright. Last one. This is the last one for the collection, and that would be Mobb Deep with their third album, Hell on Earth, released in 96. Yep, 96. Yes, definitely. This is a good one. Alongside, it's a good one. I like this one a lot. I mean, Drop a Gem on him. That's when they diss Tupac. More Trife Life. Can't get enough of it. Give It Up Fast. Get Dealt With. I think Get Dealt With is my favorite track off this album, but it's been a while since I've last heard Hell on Earth. But if you can somehow track down this album, definitely check it out. All right, guys. But that is it. That is my entire old school rap CD collection for this year. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it was a bit of a long video, but we got through it. A whole lot of old school rap CDs, 4 stacks and all, and a box full of them. That's how much I love old school rap. But yes, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please comment, like, and subscribe down below. Be sure you hit the bell notification as well, so that way you don't miss any more videos like this in the near future. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.